And that whilst your purpose
that you've signed up to and we share together is to
be
your best in all you do.
And greatness can only be measured by the difference between before you showed up and after you showed up. If I look at the number of people whose lives have been transformed by your voice, that's how we measure your greatness.
So my goal here is to help you to be able to create an online course in 30 days. A lot of people spend 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years trying to launch an online course. But if you stay with me today, my goal is to help you to create your online course in the next 30 days. So if you are committed to this project, please, I want to see a yes in the chat section. Now, before I go into the program proper, I'm going to share a bit about my story. Now, if you've never heard of me before, my name is Stephanie, and into online courses in 2013 that online courses existed. I just used to be an Ankara accessories designer. So just to tell you where I'm coming from, I used to make accessories, and I used to make things like this, Ankara, Ankara accessories with Ankara fabric, and I will make bangles, hairbands, handbags, and all sorts of things. I was very crafty. A time came when I had an urge to start teaching. All right, so I kind of feel like this is a calling. You just have an urge to start helping other people. I did not like saying that I want to help other women to have their own accessories businesses, because I have been doing this since I was a teenager. When I was in school, I used to run this business. When I had my first job, I used to run this business. When I went for my master's program, I used to run this business. So it's something I had been doing for years. And because I had this business, I always had an extra stream of income, for so many years. And I knew how to generate money by myself. So I was like, I would like to help other women to start this, to start this kind of business. I launched my first workshop. Nobody paid. That story for another day. Nobody paid. And oh God. I don't know if you've experienced a time when you really want to help people, and that's why you decide to start speaking or to start sharing, and you launch a product and then nobody paid. So it was, in fact, I was embarrassed. As in, I was so ashamed. Oh God, it was such a bad time. But anyway, what happened next is more important. I picked myself up and decided to try again. Now, this time, I said, you know what? I used to think that social media was a fad, like it will soon come and it will soon go. So I started marketing online, and to my amazement, I started getting sales. So I went from 0 people in my workshop to about 4 people in the workshop. And then as I kept on marketing, people from other states started to reach out to me. Stephanie, I don't live in Lagos, but I live in Yola, I live in Anambra, I live in Uyo, can I be a part of your training? I can't come to Lagos. And that's when I got inspired to launch an online course. So it was an experiment. I wanted to see whether it would work, all right? I wasn't expecting anything grand. Let me even see if it would work. Once again, I launched the online course, and to my amazement, people actually paid. People who had never met me in person, people who did not know me, don't know anybody that knew me, like they just saw me online marketing the products, and they were like, I like it, so I'm going to pay. All right. And then it started making me enough money to a point where I was matching my 9 to 5, because I said 9 to 5 at the time. I was matching my 9 to 5 salary from my online course. And apart from the fact that people were telling me, oh, they were sending me messages, oh, Stephanie, I took your training, I started my business, changed my life, I'm now empowered, and I want to do this. I kept on getting this kind of messages, and I was like, oh my goodness, it will be so amazing to impact lives and make money for a living. It will be so amazing if I can keep doing this, if I can keep waking up to thank you messages, if I can keep helping people, as in the way I actually earn a living is by actually helping people. And so that's what inspired me to jump into this full time. So I have been launching online courses full time since 2014. I haven't gone back to a 9 to 5 or any other thing. I have done this full time. And so when I talk about online courses, I speak from the perspective of running an online course business. Now, it's quite different when you are launching an online course because it gives you passive income. And, so people say things like passive income and make money by the side. For me, an online course is significantly different. It is the way my business makes money. All right. And so because I have this kind of mindset, the decisions I make in the business is quite different. So that's why if I could call this session, I would have titled it "Online Course for Good," because there are all sorts of online courses in the market, but the kind of online courses I'm talking about are the type that can help you to create real wealth. And if I can share some of my successes with you, one of my online courses, just one, has been able to earn over $300,000. Now, because I'm earning this type of money, I was able to fund a tech platform. All right. So for anybody who knows about tech industry, if you want to launch a tech platform, you carry your portfolio, like your slides, and you go and start looking for investors. But because I had an online course that could start it, to even jumpstart the project, I was able to fund this, and we are still, like that one still comes with all sorts of costs. But anyway, this is what happens when you actually have a profitable online course. So some people will say, oh, I launched my online course and I was able to travel. I was able to go on to buy a new car, to buy a new house. Like all these things are there. There's so many amazing things you are able to do when you actually have a profitable online course. So I'm here to talk about profitability. All right, I'm here to talk about, because a lot of times there's so much focus on just launch something, and sometimes you launch a product that is not really profitable. So many times you launch, and by the time, let's say you make money from it, but by the time you pay all your bills, you don't have anything left to pay yourself or to to do all these extra projects that you have. And that's why you find that a lot of people who are speakers or who really want to impact lives, that's why they struggle, because they now start having a cash flow problem. All right. So today, in the next minutes I have left, I'm here to talk about how to launch a profitable online course. All right. So if you're still with me, show of hands, please. If you're still with me, show of hands. If you're still with me, show of hands. If you're still with me, show of hands, show of hands, show of hands. Show of hands, all right? So I'm going to ask you, what is the first challenge that you have? Like, if you are here, I'm sure that you know the biggest reason why you haven't started. I want to hear from you. What is the biggest reason why you haven't started? What is the biggest reason why you haven't started? Why are you still where you are? Because I know that you are multi-talented, multi-gifted, all right? Stella says content, okay? Edem says not sure people will buy. Victor says I don't know how, okay? Shegu says generating content. Caroline says I don't feel I talk well. I feel like I don't talk well. Thank you for sharing that. Chizarum says the process. Benny says how can I make a course from public speaking? Rosimi says platform. All right. IK says marketing. Abiola says still building the business model. Rotimi says don't know how. Pamela says structure. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. I love this. I love this. Now I'm going to start with this. People who said that I don't know how to start. I don't know if it will sell. I don't know how to go about it. I'm not sure how to package it. Now, this is the first way to think about it. Number one, if you want to start an online course, the first thing to think about is, what am I going to teach? What am I going to teach? What's my topic? So you start with a topic. What's my topic? Now, for a lot of people who are multi-talented, highly skilled, this becomes a big problem, because if you know a lot, then there's so much you can teach. The question now becomes, which one do I actually teach? Because if it's this one, I can teach this one. If it's that one, I can teach this one. If it's this, I can teach this one. All right. Which one do I actually teach? What I recommend to all my clients is that, look, an online course fundamentally is a solution. And fundamentally, an online course is a solution. So when people are going to prepare for your online course, it's because they have a problem and they're looking for a solution to solve. To that problem, sorry. They have a problem and they're looking for a solution to solve. A solution to that problem. So the major question you're asking is, what problem do I want to solve? So when I used to I've created like over 20 online courses on my journey. And when I used to create courses like how how to design Canva images. This is something I know how to do very well. I'm good at it. I can create images without even thinking, just click, 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 click. Now, the big question here is that, is this a big problem? Is it a big problem? All right? Is it a big problem? If you want to continue solving small problems, do you understand? You will be charging small amount of money because you're charging small. Do you see what I'm saying? You're solving a small problem, but to solve a bigger problem, then you can earn a lot more money. So when you are deciding on what topic you want to teach, the question to ask yourself is, when you finish listing out all things you actually know how to do, you then say, which problem do I want to solve? You pick a battle. So it's like a battle, really. You pick a battle. I'm going to solve the problem of and I'm going to solve it with my online course. So the misconception a lot of people have is that an online course is just information, or is just knowledge, or is just content. You know, I heard people say, oh, this is my, I don't have the content. It's not, you don't start by saying, oh, because I have this content, I'm going to teach an online course. You start by saying, I've identified this problem. And because I have seen this problem, I'm going to design a solution to it. I will just package my solution as an online course. Do you understand? So when I was selling this, my, accessories training, the problem I was solving is I want to be able to start a business, an accessories business, but I don't know how to do it. So when I now came with an online course that had a step-by-step lessons that they could follow to learn how to make accessories and to turn it into a business, that's why they were able to get results from it. All right. In the world that we live now, that is full of information, there's now so much information, but there are still problems because people still don't know what to do. And they're trying to achieve a result, they're not getting it, they're confused, they're making mistakes over and over again. When you come with your solution, they will pay for it. So let's take a step back and we flip what your definition of an online course is. Your online course is not content packaged together. It is not information packaged together. It is not it's not something you just pull here. You have to identify a problem you want to solve. All right, identify a problem you want to solve, and then you say, okay, my online course will be the solution to this problem. So now I'm going to ask you in the chat section, I want you to tell me a problem you have identified. Tell me a problem you have identified around you, even in the course of the work that you do, a problem you have identified that you have a solution to. A problem you have identified that you have a solution to. I would like to see it in the chat section. A problem you have identified that you have a solution to. All right. Caroline says managing teams effectively. Chizurum says poverty psychology. Alamide says poor youth. Beam says hidden trauma. Session says belief system. Galaxy Tab says in-law issues. Victor says people that hate their job but can't resign. Dan Lola says maximizing multiple get fantastic. Now you're listing out the problems that you're seeing all around you. The next issue that a lot of people have, and I saw it when I asked earlier, is that if I create this course, nobody might buy it. All right. So I'm afraid of moving forward because I'm not sure if anybody will buy it. Now, here's what you do instead. When you have identified the problem, you design. In fact, I don't like all I'm saying is just design. You design a solution to it. You design a solution and then you sell it. If people buy, great. They bought. You can go and create the content. If nobody buys, it's feedback. It's feedback. That's all it is. It's feedback. Try again. Pick another problem. Try and solve it. So the beginning phase of an online course is really you're going through this iteration, trying to find a problem that people are willing to pay for. And the way to test it out is to actually just package an online course and to sell it before you create it. It's like having an event. If you want to do a real life event, before the event actually comes, you will design the flyer of the event. You will put it out there. You will market it. If nobody pays for the event, what do? The event doesn't hold. If people pay for the event, what do? You pay the event planner, pay for all, pay for this, pay for that, and talk about the event has happened. It's the same psychology. It's the same thing. But the mistake a lot of people make is that they try the first time, nobody pays for it. They say, oh my God, I'm not good enough. Something is wrong with me. Who asked me? I'm not the kind of person who should do this. Nigerians are this. Africans are this. You start coming up with all these different reasons when all you needed to do was just to find a different problem and to solve. And sometimes you can also say to yourself, I don't want to solve a small problem anymore. I want to solve a big problem. All right. So I've created online courses that were $5, $10, $97, $500, $499, $1,000, and $2,000. The difference among all these different courses is that it is such a big problem that somebody is willing to pay $2,000 for. It's such a big problem that somebody is willing to pay $500 for. So the smaller the problem, the smaller the fee you can place on it. The bigger the problem, the bigger the results you can get from it. All right. Did you get that? Yes or no? Did you get that? Yes, before I move to the next topic. Did you get that? Did you get that? All right, fantastic. Which leads me quickly to pricing, which is the next thing that a lot of people struggle with. How do I price my course? And I've already addressed it. The pricing of your course is dependent on the results you're going to help people to achieve. So if you're helping people to achieve a big result, a huge result, all right, it will be reflected in your pricing. If you're helping them to achieve a small result, it's reflected in your pricing. Now, the mistake a lot of people make is that they want to help people to achieve a huge result, but then they don't price it right. All right, you don't price it right. So if there's a mismatch between the kind of result you want people to achieve and the pricing, a lot of things will go wrong. Number one, you will attract the wrong people who are not ready to do the work. All right, you will attract the wrong people who are not ready to do the work, and when you get into that, it's quite frustrating, because the reason why you are in this profession in the first place is because you really want to help people. But there are a set of people who will pay for your course and will never ever log in. They will never watch it. They will never open it. Some of them will open it. They will never do the work. Many times it's because they haven't paid the price. People pay attention when they pay. So if there's something that you really want to get a results for, and you sacrifice to make that payment, what's going to happen is that you show up, you do the work. But many times, if the cost was, let me just say 10,000 naira, for example, they can forget about the money and never even log in. I'm telling you, it will now be you who is chasing them. Watch the lesson. Please sign up. Please watch the course. And this is quite frustrating, really. So the pricing of your course should be dependent on the results you're actually helping people to get. All right. Let me look at the questions that you sent earlier. The next thing I have, so people are saying structure. I don't know how to structure it. Now, once again, let's go back to our fundamental model. You people come in with your online course is to help people to solve a problem. So people come in with this problem A, and you're helping them to get results B. You that you're the course creator, what you now need to do is to say, what do people need to do to go from A to B? What do they need to do to go from A to B? So lesson 1 will be the first thing they have to do. Lesson 2 will be the second thing they have to do. Lesson 3 will be the third thing they have to do. Lesson 4, just like that. So you're taking people on a journey to go from A to B. And all the steps, step by step, is sequential. If they keep taking this step, they'll keep making progress, and eventually they'll get to B. All right. So when you're thinking about the structure, you think about what they need to do from A, how they get from A to B. Now, when you start thinking this way, you carefully design the content. You're carefully thinking about your client and saying, how can I actually help them to get results? So there's a lot of talk about get money quick, bang, 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 make money, this, that. And because of that, people design courses that don't really help people. All right, because it's just a case of reduce the price. You know, there are plenty of tactics that people can share with you. But from doing this for over 7 years, I will tell you, based on my experience, the best way to grow this online course business is to actually help people get results. And how do you do this? Is by calming down and then giving them step-by-step lessons. Step-by-step lessons. And sometimes after you've recorded a lesson, the set of videos, people will still come back and tell you, oh, I do not know how to do this. I do not know how to do that. I didn't know how to do this. And you will still provide some supplement lessons, because your role here is to help people to get to point B. Your role and everything in the course is supporting them to help them to get from point A to point B. So sometimes you will have to provide lessons. Sometimes you have to provide exercises. Do this, do it this way. Sometimes you have to provide templates. Just use this page, use this thing. Sometimes you have to provide guides, like checklists. Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? What you're doing is that you are designing a guide that if anybody follows this guide, they will get results. Now, what's beautiful about this is that the more you do it, the more you're able to replicate yourself, such that it is not inside your head. It is now in the framework. All right. And then when you now scale, when you now talk about scaling to hundreds and thousands of students, a time will come when this framework is so proven that it's no longer about you. It's now about the framework. So I'm sure you've heard things like John Maxwell certification, Dale Carnegie certification. That's how it started. It is a framework that has been used over and over and over again to train people to a point where it is now so good that they just say, this is the framework. Everybody just follow this framework. Then they give it a certification. All right. And a time will also come when you will now be, because of the level of impact, you will now be training coaches to help your students. All right, because the bigger you grow, the beauty of an online course is that you're able to train hundreds and thousands of people. So the bigger you grow, the more you have to, like assign coaches to your students to actually help them. These coaches will be trained on the framework, and they will use it consistently over and over again. Everybody's talking about the framework. And what's so beautiful is that if someone says they don't get results, they will ask the person, did you follow the framework? Because the framework doesn't lie. All right. So the first time you launch your course, what you're trying to do is to perfect your framework. All right. You're seeing how can people actually get from A to B. You almost become obsessed with helping them get results, because if they're getting stuck, it's a problem. What can I do to help them to get unstuck? How can I move them to the next level? How can I, and all of that helps you to actually get results. And a lot of people always ask that, okay, how do I now attract clients? Look, the biggest way to attract clients, the biggest way is just to have results. When if people pass through your course and have results, it's the biggest marketing tool. Like everything has its place. Facebook ads have their place, emails have their place, sales pages have their place, Instagram algorithm has its place. But what I find is that the fundamentals of a course that continues to sell over and over again, to the point where you can even be increasing the price every year if you want, so it's not even the tech. Like the tech is not even the difficult part. The difficult part is making sure that your lessons actually help people. All right. When it comes to the tech, which was a lot of people back, there are now so many easy to use tools. So like I shared earlier, when I was starting out in my own journey, there were no online schools you could easily use. So I had to, first of all, build an online school. And that one, first of all, took me 3 months to build an online school, because of all the steps that all the 100 things you have to do. But now when we started working with a lot of women to help them to launch online courses, women specifically, because women are quite terrified of tech. All right. So I quickly realized that we had to design an easy to use platform, which is what we've done, which is called Train Quarters now. So if you can use Train Quarters, whether you're a man or a woman, it's not gender specific. But because I was working with a lot of women who were scared of technology, I was like, oh my goodness, we have a problem. All right. So once again, we designed Train Quarters to make it easy to use. If you go on Train Quarters, you can easily open an account and immediately have an online school. So we're not building it from scratch like I did in my own time. All right. You can just put up your videos. If you need any sales page or any templates, they're already there for you. All you have to do is to customize it. So the tech is not such a barrier as it used to be before, because there are now platforms like Train Quarters where you can use templates. All right, there's a template to host your online course, there's a template to do your sales page, there's a template for your opt-in page, and all the tech tools that you need, they're now templates for them. The last thing I wanted to share with you today is it's really about how to get your income goals. All right. So there's and the goal I'm going to use today, because I'm trying to be conservative, is $10,000. So how do you earn your first $10,000 from your course? How do you earn your first $10,000? All right. So the first thing you have to do as a CEO, can you see that my I'm talking about business now? The first thing you have to do is to carefully decide on your pricing. There are no right or wrong answers when it comes to pricing. It's really dependent on you and the vision that you have for your business. All right. So you can decide that I'm going to launch a $97 course, but bear in mind that to launch a $97 course, it means that you have to work with 100 people before you can get to $10,000. This whole thing is a number, it's just numbers. So if you pick $97, it means that you have to work with 100 people before you get to $10,000. Now, if you are like FD, huge audience, big, massive, it's easy for you. All right, that's very easy. If you are an Instagram celeb, everybody knows you. Once you do like this, boom, everybody will run. I want. It's easy. But if you don't have a huge audience, if you are a beginner, if you are just starting out, and you decide that you want to launch a $97 course, do you already see how you will struggle? Because it will be tough for you to get your first 100 people. You already see, because you don't just have the numbers, and those numbers, it takes time for them to grow. It takes consistency for them to grow. It doesn't just happen overnight. All right. So if you're trying to earn $10,000 and you don't yet have a huge audience, you know what you can do? You can decide to solve a bigger problem. All right. And then increase the price of your course. So if you say, I'm going to launch a $500 course, all you need is 20 people. That's all. 20, and you have 10,000. Or you can say, I'm going to launch a $1,000 course, and all you need 10 people, and then you have $10,000. Of course, as I'm saying these numbers, I know that your fear would just be screaming, hey! How am I going to launch a $1,000 course or a $500 course? Now, like I always say, they that know their God, they shall be fearless and they shall do exploits. Now, the environment might make you feel like it's not possible for you to launch a $1,000 course, or it's not possible for you to launch a $500 course, or even more. But let me tell you something, that thought is not of God. There are so many people. There are so many people in the world. So many people. My God. There are so many people. Even if you want to say that Nigeria is your market, there are so many people in Nigeria who can pay that price. And if you don't set the price, if you don't launch your course at that price, believe me when I tell you this, they are going overseas to go and pay other people. Please trust me. I've paid for a lot of premium courses, and each time I go there, I see my fellow brothers and sisters there. All right. So the mindset that, oh, Nigerians don't pay this amount is not true. People want want to remember this. If the only thing I remember today, people want results. People want results. People want results. So if you position yourself as somebody who helps people to get results, they will pay for your cause, regardless of the price. Yeah, thank you very much.